Hi everyone. In this lesson we'll be creating a new type of furniture, a bench to be more specific, and we want to make this bench into a parametric geometry. So for this I'm going to start off with my standard primitives, and I'm going to start my shape with this box. So let's go ahead and create a box and go to the modifiers as always and add some kind of parameters here. So the height of a bench, we know that's around 50 centimeters. And the width, we could leave it at 52, and let's just create a 2 meter in length bench. Create an editable poly from this, so convert to edit poly. And now what I want to do to create this parametric design, I'm going to just select my edges with the 2 key, and while we are on edit edges, I can just connect this, and I'm going to connect it once. I'm gonna hit OK. Select vertices with my 1 key, and I'm going to hit my E for my rotation and make sure that you have the snap toggle on for it and rotate it at 45 degrees. Select these other vertices and I'm going to rotate them by 90 degrees. So I'm creating this type of twist here. And I'm going to go to my positive tab, shapes and splines. Now I'm going to select my section tool. I'm just going to create a section like this, which basically works as a slicing plane. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees like so, and you can see that I have this issue now because I have my rendering option on. So if I go ahead and draw a line like this, I'll just go into my rendering options and deactivate the enable in viewport. Get this slicing plane and delete it. And let's go again to shapes and splines and let's hit our section. Let's rotate these to 90 degrees and I'm just going to place it on top of my shape here. I'm going to move it with my gizmo, and now what I want to do is just copy it so that I can make a contour each certain amount of centimeters. Let's go to our orthographic view, and now each 10 centimeters, or let's leave it at 8 centimeters roughly, I'm going to copy this 15 times, or actually that's too little. Let's go again 8 centimeters and let's copy this 30 times. Okay. Now how do I extract these splines that are being created on top of this geometry here? I will just go ahead and select all of them, and I'm going to press G to hide my grid for now, and now I'm going to right click and convert to editable spline. This way I will just keep these splines and all of these section planes will be gone. Now to make this into a mesh, we know what to do, but however I can't really turn on my rendering options because this is not a single object. These are all acting as individual elements. So what I have to do is just to attach all of them, and I can either go like this by pressing this attach tool and just going one by one. But this is going to take me too long, so what I want to do is just to head to attach multiple. So this will take me to my layers, and here in my layers I would only just select all of these sections and attach. Now I'm going to head to my rendering tab and enable in viewport. Here in the rectangular option, I've given this 6 centimeters in length and 2 centimeters in width. However, we can see that there's a problem here in which the vertices are acting strange, and this is because inside my editable spline on my vertex, they are all actually not welded. So we have to fix that. So let's just grab all of the vertices and let's go to our geometry, and inside this tab I'll just press the weld option. Now that fixes that issue. And next I'm going to add a turbo smooth on top of this. So let's go to our modifier list and type in turbo smooth. Now let's add another layer of iteration. Let's just add 2. And there we go. We ended up with this interesting shape. So basically the users or the people can sit down in this corner over here or in this one. You can play around with the geometry of this, so we might not need turbo smooth, but rather we can go ahead and chamfer just to make the edges a bit more straight. Alright, so that's it for this lecture. I'll see you in the next one.